Hello, and welcome to episode 517 of Contending at the Water Cooler. I'm your host, Clarence Moye, and I am joined by the other two M's, plus a few special guests. So, M's, let's start with we've got a non-human special guest. Hello, new member of the McLachlan family. Megan, I'll let you go first so that you can introduce your new child.
Hi, I'm Megan McLachlan. This is Jackie Rogers Jr. on the podcast. He was bugging me outside of I was like, you should just come join me. So this is him on the okay, now he's going. He's leaving. But you can find me online at Hey Dude Meg.
Joey.
Hi. Sorry, going through puberty again. Hello. Hi, I'm Joey Moser. You can find me on Twitter at JoeyMoser83.
And we're not getting a special guest appearance from your new child.
No, because the cat that we adopted is, I'm not kidding, the quietest cat I have ever seen. Like, I got home tonight from work, and Jason's like, I've been up and awake for 6 hours because he worked night shift last night. He was like, I haven't seen the cat. Where is it? And I was like, I don't know. And it was we're doing the slow introduction to the dog. They haven't really met yet, and he was inside the love seat. He like crawled underneath it and crawled up into like the little reclining part. So Mr. Wadsworth is not here.
All right, very good. So we also have two special guests here to talk about our main topic this week, which is the 2025 Telluride Film Festival. So Mark, special contributor to the Contending, why don't you introduce yourself?
I am Mark. Mark Likes Movies on X and all the things. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's me.
You're good. And
here I am.
Jorge, welcome.
Hey, thank you. Hey everyone, I'm Jorge. I am at J Don Burnham on X and at Awards Predicts on Instagram. And I guess what I could say is I've been going to Telluride since the La La Land year. There was I was just reading Oscar Wars. Have you guys read that? There was this whole paragraph about the world premiere of Moonlight that he gets into a lot of detail, and I was like, I was literally right there. So that's my claim to fame for this podcast, anyway.
Jorge's first Telluride is still the greatest Telluride of all time. 2016, it was so good.
Well, you'll have to tell Joey and Megan about what made that year so great as we launch into basically a crash course. Joey and Megan have heard me talk about Telluride quite a bit, but I want them to hear a couple of other perspectives as we go to the film festival, because Joey, Megan, and I are going to represent the Contending at the Telluride Film Festival together. It is actually, ironically, it is the first time that the three of us have been together in the same room since Oscar night 2017, which was the Moonlight La La Land debacle. So it's all simpatico here. It's all meant to be. We're all coming together. The threads are forming. So I want to go around the sort of let Mark and Jorge talk about their experiences, things to look out for, places to eat, things to do other than watching films. And then, of course, we'll launch into as much of a speculation round as we can. Of course, the Telluride Film Festival does not announce their preview of the schedule until a day before the festival begins. And of course, we have 3 weeks left. In 3 weeks, we will all be in the mountains. Some of us are more nervous than others. We won't go into that. This is not that kind of podcast. All right. So, Jorge, let's start with you. What are some of the things that you have learned and looked forward to over the last 9 or so years since you've been going to Telluride?
And I don't know why Joey's nervous, but maybe if it's a reference to altitude sickness, I got it one time. I don't know how or why that 1 year. So definitely drink water. It can happen, and I typically don't get altitude sickness. I mean, I think it's a beautiful town. Clarence has a picture in the background. So it's just, they say it's magical, but it kind of is because it just looks so pretty and it's very unique. The people there are real film lovers, not just the, press people who go, but the people in the line. It's really infectious in a way that's very unique. That's not quite the same as other film festivals. I mean, the world premieres used to be pretty special. I'm not sure that that's still the case. I mean, but they have a really good lineup. Every year they have solid, best picture contenders, but not just that, right? They have great international films, great documentaries. I think, it's definitely challenging for those that are like big planners to not get their schedule till the day before, because you're like, okay, well, what do I do? What do I do? And then there's this other whole factor, which is that, oh, I wish I were doing that, drinking wine. I don't know, it was this kind of podcast, Clarence. You should have given me enough warning.
We have a strict no alcohol policy, but I'm apparently an alcoholic, so
No,
I'm certain Clarence has no such rule.
I wonder. It's like, okay, so it's been 5 minhave before that came up. I wondered how long it would be.
I know. Keep people without the wine. So, you have a press test, right? So you have like a special screening that's not announced until like before it starts, basically at 2:00 on Friday. So if that screening is X, and so you probably do have to create 3 schedules if you're like that, or you can just kind of go with the flow, right? Like you're going to see everything you want to see. You can see as many as 12 or 13 films if you really die hard, which is a lot for like 72 hours. But and then a couple of you are probably going to go to Toronto. So I always say, like, you're going to see them, like, or you're going to see them in New York or LA or whatever. But it's really fun. They have a lot of, except for the year of the strike, they have a lot of appearances and Q&As by, interesting celebrities or directors or writers, and it's just cool. Small little parties where you get to talk to some of those folks. Is Focus going to be there? I guess we'll get to speculation, but they've been having a brunch for years now that's really fun because it's small and they have like a couple of big celebrities, and like I still very vividly remember talking to Kate Blanchett for a while, which is like, pretty cool.
Yep.
I know. And Anne Hathaway.
And
the same year or different year?
Yeah, no, that was the same year. It was Tar and Armageddon because they had Anne Hathaway,
right.
Kate, and Jeremy Strong was also there.
Right. And then in terms of restaurants, do we get paid for these advertisements, Clarence? Because do I name names? I mean, there's a lot. I really like Brown Dog Pizza in Telluride. It's like yummy. I feel like we all eventually find our way there. They actually have really good pizza up at Mountain Village too. If you can get up there, obviously the gondola is a ride, and like you might not have time, but you guys understand, right? Like there's like the town of Telluride is where 99% of the movies are, but Chuck Jones Theater uptown, at Mountain Village can have something you want to see. Great ride, beautiful views. So it's kind of part of the experience. You got to try to sneak it in, maybe in the morning, maybe at the end of the day. There's a Thai place, I always forget the name, but this like on the corner there of Pacific Avenue that I really like. And yeah, I mean, there's like fun bars. You don't have a lot of time for that, but maybe you do. I guess at the parties you might. Like at the parties, if you go to parties, which there's more and more of, it seems like. Am I making that up in my head, guys, or maybe I'm just invited more? Like I feel like there weren't that many parties before. Yeah.
It varies by year and what the studios are really willing to spend. But yeah, there's usually a good amount that you're invited to. The problem is to go to the party, you usually have to sacrifice a screening, right? So prioritizing your schedules. Go ahead. Sorry, didn't mean to.
I think that was it. I mean, I think Sony does a party that is at the end of the day, right? So that's the Focus. You kind of have to sacrifice something. Sony does a party at the end of the day, Amazon, but they like really tired, and then you could have like 2 Cosmos and like get a little loopy. So, but maybe that's fun.
The Sony one is at that I think it's La Marmont, that French restaurant near the gondola station, and and not only do you get free alcohol, they will actually give you a full-on free entree, so like a $70 steak.
Delicious.
They will hook you up.
Really good stuff.
I make time for that
parties when you can.
Yes.
There's always somebody always at Nat Geo or Netflix have a brunch sometimes at that hotel that's right there. Sheridan Inn, is that the name?
Yeah, sure.
It's like that place is yummy and like
it's great. Yeah. They had a big one there for Power of the Dog a few years ago, I remember, that I went to.
Yeah. So that's my overview, but I don't know. I'm curious what Mark's perspective is.
Yeah. No, I think everything you said spot on. I think the biggest thing, I'll just reiterate a little bit of what he said. Drink a lot of water. I bring ibuprofen with me as well because you want to stay hydrated. The best way to avoid the altitude sickness is to get in front of it with hydration, right? Because we're at almost 9,000 feet above sea level. So water, ibuprofen. If worst comes to worst, because I one time did have a little bit of a weird feeling up there. And only one time. This is my ninth time going. So one time in 8 years of going. But they do have this little oxygen bar kind of thing, and you can go get. I don't know what you would call it, but oxygen in you, and that kind of helps as well, right? So water, ibuprofen, oxygen. I would tell you make sure you pack food. There's a couple grocery stores. It does get a little expensive. I typically will buy peanut butter and bread and eat peanut butter sandwiches while waiting in line because you do not get a lot of time during the day to eat, right? Eat a breakfast before you go, pack a lunch, and then hope you get a dinner. Your passes, that's one of the things I think Jorge touched on too. It's interesting because you only get a certain amount of passes. I think it's like 6 or 7, and 3 of them are the tributes that are there. So you're kind of forced to use those for those. And you're going to want to see a lot of us, I should say, see more than 7 movies over the 4 days. I typically see 11 or 12 is my goal. So the high clearance season.
No, I was going to say the passes is a little confusing. So we get, as members of the press, we get the standard press pass, and we can get into anything that we want. However, they do also give us 7 special tickets that are basically like your golden ticket to get to the front of the pass holder line to make sure that you do get in there, because these things do fill up, particularly the bigger screenings, the premieres, stuff like that.
A way to manage it is to realize this. Priority pass. So first you have to understand the queue system, right? The queue system is they open a line, everyone gets in line, and then at some point, 30 minutes, technically speaking, an hour before the screening starts, some amount of time before the screening starts, they pass out queues, which means, and they start at like typically number 200, okay? Or they estimate how many patrons are going to get in to the theater based on its size, based on the popularity of the movie, and then they pass out queues. So if you're 200, you're the first one to get in of the regular people, and then they give up as many. Okay. What your pass allows you to do is to skip the whole queue and go with the priority people. But if it's a screening, for example, Friday night after the first screening late at night, or Saturday night, most people, especially the patrons, they're tired. They're not like us that want to see every single movie. So the movies are not full. Right? So you don't need to use your pass, is my point, right? That's the managing of the passes that you can do without yes, if you're going to on Friday afternoon at 6 p.m., they're all world premieres, you're going to need the pass or to get there really, really early. So there's a way to do it without using all the passes, and I've never run out of them.
Yeah. The other thing I would add, I know Jorge mentioned brown bag pizza. It's worth mentioning twice. It's a Detroit style pizza. So it's like almost like a Chicago deep dish kind of thing. It is, even though it's a Michigan thing, which us in Ohio aren't big fans of. It is delicious, right? Butcher and Baker is the other one I want to mention. That is the best breakfast I think you'll get in Telluride. It's usually worth going one time, at least one time. The cinnamon rolls are to die for. Aside from that, I would say make sure you get a chance the first day. Are you guys getting in Wednesday or Thursday, or what day are you getting into? Thursday. Right. So you'll have Thursday, and I would tell you use Thursday to walk around, take in all the scenery, ride the gondola up the mountain so you can see, you've seen the pictures before of the village. It's worth the ride. You might see a bear while on the gondola or whatever. What did we see the one time? I think it was you and I, Clarence. Was it like an elk?
We saw an elk.
Yeah, all sorts of cool wildlife up there. So
I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but there's an Italian restaurant that's kind of on that main strip where we have been several times, and each time there's been, like, Bill Murray was there last year. The cast of Anora was there. So that's the fun place to go. And it's great food.
Yep. Good stuff.
And gelato. Lots of gelato. See, I do like sweets and not just anyway, we're not going to get to that again. So, Mark, favorite Telluride experience? I guess you kind of spoiled that by saying you're a La La Land year, but was there something else outside of that that has been like,
Oh my God. There have been so many Telluride moments, and I'm sure you guys will get into because Telluride isn't a big town, and it is very comfortable because there isn't paparazzi or anything like that. The press is like us, right? You'll have bigger, like, variety and whatnot there, but it's just cinephiles. So you'll pass Laura, I've passed Amy Adams on the street, and Laura Linney like lives there. I think she's usually at the festival. But my favorite moment I would say was 2017 after The Shape of Water. Guillermo del Toro had a Q&A, and stay for as many of the Q&As as you can and go to the tributes if you can, because that's really what makes, I think, the festival so great is not just seeing the movies, but hearing them talk about it. It really makes you fall in love. That's why you hear about like film festival buzz being kind of overhyping certain films, but you fall in love with the movie because you're listening to the passionate artist that made it. Anyway, the Q&A ran long. They had to kick him out because they had another movie coming in. So he said, "Hey, if you guys still want to talk, I'll meet you outside. We'll sit." And I got to sit. Him and I were 4 or 5 feet apart, and got to listen to him talk about how much he put into the Shape of Water. It was just a really awesome moment. There's been tons, but that's definitely one that's way up there.
what about you, Jorge?
That's a really good one. I had never heard you tell that story. It was actually, I think, also 2017 is a similar year. I mean, there's a lot, like Mark said, there's a lot of fun. Like you become like, we're all friends and we hang out and that's fun. Like we don't see each other for a year and then, we have drinks or we watch a movie together and so all of those are highlights for me. One year, I think it's 2017, I had been to the world premiere of The Darkest Hour. And then I was taking the gondola up for whatever reason. Either I was staying there or there was a movie there. I don't remember. It was dark and it's very dark in the gondola. There's no light. So, ski town gondolas. And so the whole gondola fills up with a group of people. And then they start talking about the Darkest Hour. And it's Anthony McCartan, the writer, who was, talking about the movie to his publicist and his agent and I think his wife. And he was very insecure about it. And he was trying to get them to tell him that it was awesome and amazing. And at some point I stopped him and I was like, okay, can you guys stop? Because I'm a member of the press and I feel uncomfortable eavesdropping. And by the way, I really liked your movie. I know a lot of people didn't, but it was just really kind of like Mark's point, like it's small and they're all there. And so you just kind of have these encounters. You're like on the street eating a hot dog and then all of a sudden Antonio Banderas like asks you what time it is, like weird things like that. But it's not so much that it's like, oh my God, I saw a celebrity. You've all met many of them. It's like the weirdness of how exactly it's all set up that everyone's just kind of hanging out there. Yeah. I mean, like I walked by the filming of Devil Wears Prada all week last week. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Like it's about the fact that we're all just kind of hanging out and doing the same thing.
Absolutely. Joey, Megan, any questions?
This isn't necessarily a question. I'm a little worried about my level of chill. Like, see, if I saw Amy Adams walking down the street, I would probably like not yell at her, but I mean, like, I don't have, I've been fortunate enough to speak to a lot of, high profile people and stuff. But I mean, if I saw somebody like that or like.
You can do it. I talked to her at SCAD.
I was going to say, I'm going to take pictures of you.
I talked to her at SCAD. We talked about my costume as JD Vance's couch, so you'll be fine.
Well, like, I don't know, like the closest, like I've gone to TIFF the last 3 years, and usually I've seen a lot of really cool people there. Like I saw like Lupita Nyong'o, Kate Connor. I sat in front of like Viggo Mortensen for one of the movies a couple of years ago, and it's just sort of like I still have a little bit of like a knee jerk, like oh my god. So I'm a little. Does the Contending have insurance or bail money? Because I'm a little worried about what might happen.
I think it seems like that now, but to pick up on something that Jorge said, it is the atmosphere is very chill because everybody's just there to go see movies, right? And yes, you'll see somebody famous and it'll be like, oh, but then you'll start to get used to it because there are a lot of people there. And people like Emma Stone, she may have a movie there, she may not, but she goes almost every year because she loves the festival. So you won't even, you may not even. There was that one year where she was walking around with a hat on. I think it was the strike year where everybody claims that they saw her, but I never actually did. But it's I guess what I'm trying to say is that the atmosphere kind of tamps down your level of excitement, I think, or surprise. Just because
we forgot to mention that not only do you see, they're also packing the screenings. Like at every screening that you're at, and the theaters are smaller than the average TIFF one. And at TIFF, the press screenings don't have any celebrities. They do the Q&A and then they leave, right? They're not sitting there. This is full of celebrities at the screening. So you're sitting there and then you're like, oh, blah, 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 I was watching this movie. So at every screening, like there's a bunch of them, right? They're watching each other's movies, they're supporting, whatever it is, right? Like checking out who's going to be in the best actors competition against them that year or whatever.
Absolutely.
There's so many stories you can tell over the years of encounters and intimate, settings. You're in close quarters and everybody's laid back. It's just really, it's like that line from Field of Dreams. If you remember when he says, "Is this heaven?" No, this is Iowa. That's how I feel every time I'm in Telluride. I'm like, is this heaven? No, this is Telluride.
Very good. So what are we going to see there? Every year, Julie Huntsinger, the executive director of the festival, programs this based, largely on what, she's seen. She sees these things months and months in advance. And as I mentioned before, the schedule is always a surprise until the day before. So you'll know roughly about noon on Thursday, Mark. That's when Mark starts to really hone in on that schedule and starts to pull out the spreadsheets and figure out this is I can see Honora at 1 p.m. on Friday, but no, if I see it at 8 p.m. on Saturday, then I can see blah 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 at or whatever else. So he just starts plugging things in, and I'm just follow you around and I'll let Mark do all the work.
I do hope
it's like my favorite part.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be like following people around like a dog.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna be like this. Like it's
sure.
That's what it's gonna be like.
The funny thing is that we. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying that's just a warning. That's all.
The funny thing is we all end up flocking to the same locations mostly anyway, particularly the night screenings.
Yeah.
I always think I've done something. Oh, please, Mark.
No, go ahead, Ori.
I was just going to say, I always feel like I've done something wrong with my Telluride if there's not one screening that I don't go where I don't see one of my friends. Like, for the same reason, I guess my point is it's always cool to try to see something that's not necessarily, maybe you have to work and you have to cover it and that's fine. But Telluride does have some really good, and so they have these smaller venues. So one of them is the Nugget Theater. I guess the Nugget hasn't been open for a couple of years. So one of them is Le Pierre, which is next to the main one called Palm. And then another one is the Sheridan Opera House. First of all, both are interesting venues, and then Mason's Hall. And so there you might see, I remember seeing what was Poland's movie, Ida, or random, I saw Big Little Farm, and these beautiful movies, the French movie about food that was not Francis Selection a couple years ago. I saw one of these, Taste of Things. So my point is, those are not the ones that everyone's going to be flocking to. So if you can get one of those in, you might find a movie that you really treasure. Because I'll just say it, Julie does a great job. Film quality being whatever it is, there's always one or two that you're that one is not now you're a Telluride and it's magical, and so as Mark said, there's this sort of hype that just builds on itself, and you might feel oh my god, all these movies are amazing, but there's probably one or two that are not. But the smaller ones, it's a bigger hit rate in my experience or opinion.
And there's so many documentaries. There's so many documentaries there. and
You
animated
guys,
films.
yeah, you guys are at an advantage too. I think you said you're going to TIFF as well. So
Yeah,
you're
I have a 1 day break in between.
awesome.
Um, and so we're flying to Telluride. Well, I'm flying to Telluride, and I decided just to have a different experience. I'm driving to TIFF, which isn't that bad of a drive. It's like a little over 6 hours, so it's not horrible. So this TIFF screenings start on Thursday. I'm there. I think I leave on Monday, so I'll have like 1 day at home, and then it's not like I'm rushing to getting to TIFF to get to a screening, but I want to like get there, get to my hotel, get my press pass. The thing that I'm most like not concerned about, but since Telluride does announce like when we get there, like by that point, TIFF's ticketing system, because it's so huge. Jorge, have you been there?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it's
So
also very
you have like,
dysfunctional.
yeah, and it's like TIFF is sort of like I always say you have to learn how to like hustle on your own terms at TIFF. Like you can get locked out of a press screening, which has only happened to me like once or twice. You have like 10 press tickets to use however you like to public screenings, but the public tickets go on sale before the press can redeem their stuff. So a lot of times they're in these big, large, beautiful performing arts theaters that they convert into movie theaters, but then you have to like check in every day at the TIFF box office to see if did this open, did it open, did someone give it? Like people are like scalping tickets for like $700 a pop just because like a famous person is going to be there. So I'm looking forward to like the first time that I went to Middleburg with Mark and Clarence, and they had been there before, and it was sort of the first day of the first year that I went. I was like, so I can just like walk in
Yeah.
to a public screening, and
Yeah.
I'll be fine. Like the amount of times that Clarence was like, chill the fuck out because like you're gonna see anything that you want there, and I'm not just like the whole time.
Yeah.
So
Megan, I would say that Telluride is a lot more like SCAD in it that way. It is much more laid back. There's going to be some pressure to get to some of the higher profile things, but you don't have to deal with the ticketing system. That's the best part about it.
That was awful at TIFF, like because I didn't see much of anything, and I had a good number. I had a better number than Joey, but somehow because of the ticketing, I didn't get to see it. Like there was one, yeah, I think I just saw the Woman King the first year, like and Women Talking. I didn't see too much, but I did get to go to some parties, which made up for it. But I was kind of like, why am I here?
Well,
So I have some good news and some bad news, right? Like I've been doing Telluride TIFF for many years, and so the good news is what these guys said. You don't have to worry about that at Telluride. You're going to get into everything. You just are. Like the press people will get you in at the like, unless there's something that and this has not happened in a while, like a La La Land thing, something that exploded at Venice that's so popular that you just cannot get in. Mark, am I wrong? I just don't feel like that has happened at Telluride. I have not struggled with anything in many years.
I've never been turned away from a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds stressful and you haven't been, and you're like, no, I need to be stressed because you have the TIFF experience. So the good news is Telluride is not that. And there's a lot of like, the screenings are packed together, and some of the walk, like from one end to the other is like almost a mile. So like that can be stressful. Getting into the screenings is not going to be stressed. The bad news I have for you, Joey, is that this is not going to make the TIFF experience anything better. I mean, you'll have fewer movies to want to worry about, but the TIFF ticketing system, the whole thing, Megan just talked about it just sucks. And I don't know why they think that it's good. They like this whole notion of scarcity. It's like, that's the model because they're holding back all these tickets. I'm sure you've been to Roy Thompson Hall to a movie where you like had to like pay $10,000 to get in, and then you get there and the entire movie theater is empty. Like I find that mind-boggling, and I feel like filmmakers are the ones that have the power to push back on TIFF. But we could do a whole bitch about TIFF podcast later, so you won't have that experience at Telluride.
the reason I brought up that you guys have a little bit of an advantage too with the fact that you are going to Toronto. You do know what's playing there. So when you're looking at your Telluride schedule, you can kind of, I think, and again, I don't know exactly how the ticketing works. I've never been to TIFF, but at least you have an idea of, okay, if you're gonna have to pick between two films at some point, and maybe miss the other one. That's, sometimes you can be like, well, like Clarence was saying, if I go to this screening at that time, I can do both. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way. So knowing that you choose film A over B if B is playing at Toronto, there's that,
Yeah.
advantage.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to like just talking about last year's experience. Like I know you guys saw Saturday night, you guys saw the piano lesson. And since TIFF is a long festival, it's like 12-ish days, 2 weeks. A lot of the press is only there for the majority, from what I understand from my friends that live in Toronto. They're there for like the first 4 days, 5 days, and then the city goes a little bit back to normal, but they still have screenings. And so I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how it plays out in terms of, because I caught Saturday night just in theaters afterwards because it played after I left Toronto. And then the other one that I was really bummed about was the piano lesson, but I caught that at Middleburg. So now I'm sort of hoping that it's just like, okay, if I go to Toronto, Telluride, maybe that'll open up my Middleburg experience.
Yeah,
maybe.
for sure.
So that's what I'm looking forward to with that.
You might have fewer things left. You might have nothing left to watch at Middleburg. Here's my tip. I just saw this the other day. So this is my 2021. I don't know if you can see like all my markings.
Yeah.
Like this is, but I you just circle and then you write and then you like, and by the way, TIFF also doesn't print the schedule anymore. Like, I'm sorry, but this is needed so that you can like really, plan it. I don't know. Am I the only crazy one who does this? But like, this really helps me.
Oh, same. And you bringing that up actually just reminded me of the hardest part of Telluride is not just that they keep the film secret to the last moment. They also have what's called a patron screening that plays to kick off the festival. And that one is not announced what it is.
Oh.
So it usually leaks, right? But until you know what that one is, you really can't craft a flow of your festival.
What?
So it's brutal.
Right. What have been a couple of the last ones that you guys remember?
It's all over the place. Right? Yeah. They've had La La Land. La La Land was 1 year that I went. He named me Malala, or whatever the Malala doc was called. I forget. What's the Alexander Payne Supersize Me, but not that.
Downsizing?
Downsizing, sorry. Downsizing was 1 year.
Yeah. This year of 2021, because the year of 2021, which is the book I have in my hand, it was Encounter with Riz Ahmed, because I circled that. It was that, which was kind of a random movie. I'm sorry.
Last year it was the.
Was it last year?
No. Last year was the Lego documentary of Pharrell Williams.
Right. Piece by piece.
Piece by piece.
Years ago was Bike Riders. 2 years ago.
Yeah, then Bike Riders 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's
there was
never
that really weird year where it was that
Yeah.
That weird year where there was that documentary part 2 that never got picked up. That everyone was
the
like,
Icarus. Icarus or whatever it was called.
Right. It's never something that is, at least the past years that I've been, it has never been something that is like super, super high profile, but it's a nice one to get off your list so you can make room for something else. Mark, I'm surprised you didn't mention this too. The other thing that they do that's kind of annoying is, not annoying, but inconvenient, is there's all the TBA slots where it could be something that they didn't announce and then they got at the last minute, or it could be, they're going to stick
a second screening.
Yeah, second screening or something. Yeah, exactly. Look, it's like half of Sunday and all of Monday that are like TBAs.
You don't. Right. So there is, because of that, the thing you want to do is, aside from the booklet, which helps you plot, you want to download the Telluride app, because the app will the paper won't update, obviously, right? But the app will update what those TBAs could be announced. Yeah, TBAs it updates and lets you know as soon as they plot something there, and you can make adjustments to what you have. But you know, what I typically do is when I get there, I get like 4 of those booklets that Jorge showed you, and by then we pretty much know, it's down to 2, 3, maybe 4 movies it could be, and I plot out a path. If it's film A, here's the plan. If it's film B, here's the plan. Like, you kind of just have to get creative with it. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun, but it's also a little stressful because of.
We both neglected to mention, or all 3 of us neglected to mention, you should go to the picnic, like if you're still in town, like the picnic, the opening 9 feet, like that's fun. Like it's like, you should do that.
Free
like that's
food
in the schedule. Free food.
It's free
always
food, and
burgers,
you're
so it's
starving.
fine. Yeah.
The picnic, yes. The opening night feed, I find the food is never very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
And you're probably jet lagged, so it's not even your eating time anyway. Like, nobody lives on Mountain Time. Do any of you live on Mountain Time? No.
We're all east.
So, yeah. So, right. So, like, I agree with that. But, I mean, I try to pick it up on the way just to have, like, the free food of it and, like, have something in my stomach. I end up eating way too much popcorn. I need to check out that place you mentioned, Mark. I've never been to that breakfast place. And that's the one that I had in Crack. So, okay.
Terrific. Yeah. Highly recommended.
So let's get into a little bit of prediction here about what we think will show. And I don't know if all of you, I've gotten a couple, at least I've gotten one email from a publicist who confirmed a couple of things as the worst kept secret. And I don't know, Mark,
still going to get fired. Yes, they're still going to get. Did we do that? Yeah, I was going to say, like, I was going to get that person fired.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
I wouldn't do anything specific with that. I would just say that sometimes studios give us a little bit of a heads up, which is appreciated, or you get the invitations to parties and you can kind of piece things together.
Yeah. I will say that a lot of titles that have been very buzzy out of Cannes will show up here. We'll just leave it at that.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
But I think it's fair that, I mean, the Joaquin Trier is almost certainly going to be there. They had his prior movie there. The way that, I mean, I would be shocked. I would be shocked if Sentimental Valley is not there.
Right.
Like, that movie it's gotten so much buzz.
That'll be there.
That'll be there, and then the History of Sound, I think, will be there too.
Yeah, Nouvelle Vague. Netflix picked that up out of Cannes. This is the Linklater making of Breathless film. Netflix picked that up. Netflix is a big patron of the Telluride Film Festival. They have lots of titles there, so I think that'll probably be there.
So if you want, we can. I have our good friend Michael Patterson's blog up. In his most recent post, he kind of runs through each one of the studios and what the expectation is. This was updated just 2 days ago.
Yeah, I'm looking at the same thing. I sent that around as well.
Good.
And when we say people start to figure things out, you look at, and this is not a secret, you look at the language of what's going to be like a Canadian premiere at TIFF, or what's going to be an international premiere somewhere else, and that's not going to be a Telluride, or the world premiere, or the way that things are scheduled in Venice, because Venice kicks off a couple of days before Telluride. Like, Jay Kelly is going to be screening like the day before Telluride, so I think that they'll probably make that journey to the mountains. Not everybody does, but I think Jay Kelly's probably going to be there.
Yeah, and that's another, I think Jorge kind of hit on. Julie definitely has directors she loves that typically repeat at Telluride, and Bumbach, who has Jay Kelly, had Marriage Story. Yorgos Lanthimos has Begonia. He's played a ton of stuff.
Going to be there. That's just going to be there.
Yeah, that's just
plus Emma Stone. Yeah,
and Emma, right? Yep. There's others. Chloe Zhao has played several times.
Alexander Payne, wasn't he there?
Yeah, Alexander Payne. He lives there, right? So
yeah,
his films, The Holdovers, and I mentioned Downsizing. What was it again? shrinking.
No, downsizing.
Oh, it is downsizing. Yeah. That, so there's other ways, but yeah, the key way that we kind of figure out what's coming is it starts with the designations, like Clarence was saying. Is it a Canadian premiere? Or like when New York Film Festival announces their lineup, if the film doesn't have a designation, that's a good sign for us. Because otherwise it would say North American premiere if it was playing at Toronto.
Yeah.
Or
so the opening night at New York, what does that say? Like the opening night in New York, the Julia Roberts movie. I haven't checked.
That's after The Hunt, right? I think it's definitely not Telluride. However, I forget the verbiage was used, but it's definitely on the forget it list.
Well, it's in Venice, so it's a North American premiere.
North American premiere. Yeah, North American premiere. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. If you see North American premiere at Toronto or New York, we're probably that's most of the time we're not getting it. There have been a couple instances since I've been going where Julie has jumped in front of Toronto's premiere, and
I'm not expecting it to show, but I will say, our good friend Michael Patterson is saying nothing from Amazon or MGM will be there, and I find that hard to believe because they've been they had what do they have in the past couple of years? They've always had something. They've had Saltburn. Yeah, they had Saltburn. They had Cyrano. They had Cyrano. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't know that they have. I don't think they have too many films coming that are like festival films. I know after The Hunt, but looking through my Oscar predictions, and I don't really have anything else that I'm seeing from them. So I think they have like a weak slate this year.
They have the Nia DaCosta, Hedda. They have I think that's the only one after The Hunt. That's the only one they really have. I think that is noticeably awardsy.
Yeah, their slate's just a little weak. So I wouldn't be surprised if they don't, after The Hunt being their big play, and we're not getting that, it looks like. So we'll see.
All right. What else are you guys looking forward to?
Well, Begonia is, I know we kind of hinted
Begonia,
at that.
the one, like, I feel like that's definitely probably coming, right?
Yeah.
That's the feeling. I think that's one of the ones that's going to play Venice and make the leap over. And again, Yorgos is big presence in Telluride, and Emma Stone is as well. And that's the movie I've had in my number one for Best Picture predictions since March. So I'm kind of really hoping we get to see that one. I also am really hoping that we get to see Ballad of a Small Player. That's the Edward Berger film. With Colin Farrell and Tilda Swinton. So those are just probably the two I'm most excited and hopeful for.
I'm going to have to duck out. I'm really excited for all these. Sorry to leave early.
No worries.
Two of you. I can't wait to see you in person. I can't believe it's 3 weeks. That's crazy. It feels like it goes by very slow, but also very fast. Right.
Takes forever, and then it speeds up at the end.
It just is like that. And I look forward to lots of glasses of wine, Joey. All right. Thanks for having me all.
Thanks, Jorge.
I'll see you in 3 weeks.
Good to see you. See you in 3 weeks.
Nice
Bye.
meeting you.
Bye. Bye.
All right. It's interesting. Searchlight doesn't have a lot here either. And I kind of thought, and I don't remember why people are readily blanking this out. It must be verbiage, but I thought Rental Family may be there, but it's looking like it's.
That feels like a TIFF movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is a TIFF. I want to see. Is it world premiere or is it playing Venice?
I think it's a world premiere.
I think it's a world premiere as well.
I don't think it's playing
Venice. It's a world premiere at TIFF.
Yeah.
The schedule for TIFF comes out in 6 days.
There's no schedule there's no schedule yet, but they've announced their slate. Is that what it is?
Yeah. So the way that TIFF works is they don't have a booklet, which I would love because I'm such an old person that I like having something physical in my hand. They have something called TIFFer. It's not really through the I don't know if it is through the festival or not, but TIFFer is like a site where you go in, you go through every single thing, you favorite stuff, and then you click on screenings. And when you click on screenings, it automatically generates a schedule for you. So it's sort of, even if you have stuff that overlaps, you can see where it plays and all that stuff. So that's what I've done for the last 3 years because it generates something that you can at least see in front of you. And then like if you get locked out of something, you have like a way of determining what your next route will be. So that's like the only advantage with that. Can't remember where I was going to go with that, but yeah.
I
have to say the last time that I went to, I don't think it was a world premiere. It was I'm sorry, Megan. When I went to TIFF and I saw The Whale at TIFF, it was the first year that I was there. I had such an incredibly surreal experience watching that movie because I was the only person in the theater that didn't like it, I think. And it was really weird. Like everyone from the cast was there. Aronofsky was there, Brendan Fraser. Like the amount of people that I saw like crying in like the theater, like I leaned over to someone that I was sitting next to, and I was like in the middle of the Q&A, I was like, I'm gonna leave because I felt like an imposter just sitting there, and I just like slowly floated out. So whatever. Sorry, Megan.
Oh, I was just gonna say we didn't mention that I think that Springsteen movie, Deliver Me from Evil.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Is it Deliver
That's
Me
Searchlight.
Evil?
Pretty much.
I love Springsteen. I am excited for this, but I'm also like cautiously. I'm not optimistic.
Just cautious.
Yeah.
I feel like it should have just been like John Bernthal or something, like as Springsteen. Like I just feel like you gotta get somebody like that. I'm sorry, Jeremy Allen White. Like
I think he'll be good. What bothers me about that film?
He's too short. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not a Springsteen aficionado, but what bothers me about that is, and I will defer to your take on that too. But what bothers me is the trailer and the script in the trailer where Jeremy Strong has that weird monologue about he grew up in a house with the hole, and he's been trying to fill that hole, and it was just like
of Elvis, right? Like the Tom Hanks role.
Yes. Is he actually singing? That's my other question.
Yes, I think he is.
I heard that's him too.
I think you have to do that now.
Him. Well, Rami Malek was the last one to sneak in.
Right.
I'm not doing that. My parents still think that he sang, and I have to break it to them.
Oh, forget it.
I know.
There's
nobody was singing Freddie Mercury. Nobody
come
was
on. I'm like, nobody sings like Freddie Mercury. You think this dude from fucking Mr. Robot sings like Freddie Mercury?
Hey.
No.
No, she loved Mr. Robot. She's just saying he's not Freddie Mercury.
I've just been catching up on Mr. Robot. And
I love Mr. Robot, but the guy with the drone voice who talks like this is gonna sing like Freddie Mercury. No.
Right.
But I think what they're doing with this is the same thing they've been doing with like Elvis, where they take the actor's voice and then they kind of AI it up with the actual voice. It's like a blend. It's not 100% them singing. It is an amalgamation of the real performance with the actor.
This is upsetting because didn't like Audrey Hepburn, when she was like in the running for My Fair Lady, was like disqualified because she didn't sing. Yeah, like it's fucking ridiculous. Like look at us now.
We'll see. I'm sure we'll talk about it if Springsteen Deliver Me from Nowhere comes, which we think it will. I'm sure they'll talk about that.
That is a terrible title.
It is odd.
Why
it is odd.
I feel like every biopic has a piece of title. I'm like.
Well, I guess Nebraska was taken, so they couldn't call it Nebraska.
I just call it The Boss. Like
that, or like Born to Run.
But it's not
anything.
Any of his songs.
Anything. Any of his albums. Literally
which means
anything.
Jeremy Strong will be there because Jeremy Strong has, I think, been there for the last 3 years.
Ooh, I hope he has like a cute
Jeremy
outfit
Strong.
on.
Yeah.
He'll be
Oh
what?
no,
I hope he
he'll
has
always
a
be
cute outfit.
he'll be wearing a bucket hat that is the
Yes,
same
that's what
color
I
as his
want.
tracksuit.
Megan,
Yes.
I gave you that hat that says I'm the eldest boy. If you don't fucking pack
Oh
that
my
hat,
Oh,
God.
I will pack. I will pack that. I will
Okay,
pack
good.
that. And then he'll be like, I don't get it. Which is what most people at liquor stores say to me. I don't understand. And I have to explain it to them.
I would love it if I meet Jeremy Strong, I would please ask him to play Roy Cohen and say homophobic things to me.
Wait.
Like, just do it. Say it to my face. And just
I'm
push me
sure,
down the mountain.
I'm sure there'll be some actors there that will do that anyway. You just gotta reply the right ones.
The people I'm visiting with. Say something that I'm super excited to see because I hope it's there, but I am super jazzed that Hamnet might be there. I don't know if I said this to Megan.
What is Hamnet again?
Hamnet is
Chloe Zhao film.
It's Chloe
Yes.
Zhao.
It's not like a Hamlet 2 or Hamlet 3 type of thing.
No.
It's about the wife of William Shakespeare as
right.
she comes to terms with the loss of her only son, who is named Hamnet. And it's Jessie Buckley, Paul Mescal, Emily Watson, Joe Alwyn.
Oh, like that's an amazing cast.
So like I'm a huge Shakespeare nerd, so I'm super down to clown if that's there.
Down to clown?
With Paul Mescal.
I'm sorry, Shakespeare. Down to jester? I don't know.
Paul Mescal will very likely be there as well because he'll have two
shorts?
Potential films in the running.
What's the other one?
What's the one you were just talking
History
about
of Sound.
today?
I'm gonna say I think that looks so boring. I don't know. Like, I get it. Yay, gay. But I'm just so like,
Put that on a poster.
With this
Yay,
motion.
gay.
Yay, gay. But
jazz hand. Jazz
it looks
hands.
like it makes Ammonite look like a thrill ride. Like, I'm just so. It's I don't know. I couldn't
didn't see Ammonite. Was Ammonite good?
Oh, I liked Ammonite.
After you're just like makes it look
No, but
like
it's
a thrill
just-
ride. Was that good?
Ammonite. I couldn't actually finish the trailer. Like the trailer just felt so dull. But I like the director. The director Oliver. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting his last name. Oliver Hermanas. He directed a movie called Mafi. And he directed some of like Fellow Travelers and not Fellow Travelers. Mary and George. He directed Living with
right, which is the big one. Yeah, Bill Nye.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I got from the trailer was a lot. I got the Living vibe, that same era. British.
He's like, I'm gay, but I also like music. I'm sad. I was like,
very good British accent.
Take some poppers and be done with it. I'm so sick.
Why does Hamnet sound like an off-brand, like spam type of thing?
Right.
I'm going to the grocery store to pick up some Hamnet. No.
Mom, you got Hamnet again? This sucks.
Megan, you got your clip.
I've got purple stuff in the fridge and some Hamnet.
That's funny.
Oh, I'm put that on the poster too. All right. Well, I guess in 3 weeks we'll all be together. Mark, I heard you and Jorge are staying with the Awards Watch crew. How big is that house that Eric is getting?
I didn't know Jorge was staying with us.
That's
cool.
what he told me. That's what he told
You're
me.
sharing a bed. You told us that.
I never know. I just go along for the ride. And I know you guys, Joey, you might have mentioned being scared and just following people around. That's what we all pretty much did our first time there. So
just to be clear, he's not scared of being at the festival. He's scared of flying.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I was terrified to fly too back when I started going to festivals, and now it's like, if I die, I die. Whatever.
See, I don't like that. Someone told me every single time someone's just like, well, if it happens, it happens. And I was like,
I know, I do
I
hate.
don't want it to happen.
I do hate when people say that, but at the same time, I mean, what are we
But I'm
going
also
back
like the
to?
worst person to be on a plane because like I don't know, like you're flying thousands and thousands of feet in the air. The plane's gonna move. So, but you know, like Mark, I'm sorry to Clarence and Megan who've heard me bitch about this nonstop. I'm so sorry, but there was usually every time that I fly, a flight attendant is just like, "Are you good?" I'm like so tense and so freaked out. But I had one flight attendant be very nice to me who told me, and I quote, "I got you, baby," and handed me the biggest glass of vodka that I possibly could have. And I was very drunk.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
that's one
I
way to do
wish I
it.
were on a plane with you. Oh,
I don't think you would feel that way
really?
after.
Would I be
Clarence is going to see it
uncomfortable?
because Clarence and I fly out of Telluride together.
Oh,
Mm.
I'm sad that you and I haven't flown together. Maybe at
That'd be
some
a true
point.
test of our friendship.
I know it'd probably be like we go our separate ways as soon as we get out.
yeah,
No,
that's
you're basically. I'm going to be so tense that she's like, "All right, just crash it, just crash the plane."
I usually fall asleep before takeoff. I could say that. Yeah.
yeah, I do sometimes
Yeah.
as well, and
Really?
especially since
Yeah.
Megan and I are leaving at like 5 o'clock in the morning from our
Ugh.
individual
Yeah.
destinations. I will definitely be asleep before takeoff.
I've fallen asleep before takeoff and woken up as we landed, and it felt like it's like when they describe like amnesia or not amnesia, like anesthesia when you're
Yeah, right.
getting surgery. That's how it felt. I was like, wow, that was like 2 seconds.
That's what you need, Joey. You need your personal anesthesiologist to just put you asleep right when you sit down.
Oh, right.
Your phone looks so big in this camera.
This is right here.
I know. I was like,
Like-
it looks like you had an iPad in your hand.
Yeah. Maybe I just I need to text my friend. I was like, "Do you have any
anything that'll put me out for a while?"
I think we should hook you up with that. All right. Let's. Anything else about Telluride?
No, kidding. No.
No, we're good. Let's do the flash forward to the media we're most anticipating in the upcoming week. And Megan, we'll let you go first.
Well, first I wanted to shout out Lonnie Anderson. I'm very sad. I know our fan Rick Friel and I were talking about Lonnie Anderson. She was a true talent. And also I was just watching her in a really bad movie, Munchie, that she's like very delightful in, and like what a beautiful lady. So I just wanted to shout that out first. And how sad that I am that she passed away. But what I'm looking forward to this week is probably I'm weapons.
Yeah.
And I need to catch up to Together, so hopefully I'll get to see Together. I've also been watching the yogurt shop murders on HBO, which is terribly sad. And that's about. And I'm still reading Sky Daddy. And that's about it for me.
Mark, what about you?
Well, Weapons is definitely the big film release that I'm excited to. I think I'm seeing it Friday. I did see Together. It's really odd but good. I liked it. So let me know what you think, man. And then TV wise, I finished The Hunting Wives, which was totally not my type of show, and I loved it. It was just drama filled and cheesy. And I've been watching, like I mentioned, Mr. Robot, which I think I just finished season 2, and I can't believe USA put that together. Like what?
Yeah.
It feels like a HBO show or something, but pretty awesome.
Joey.
I too am looking forward to Weapons. I might try to convince Jason to go see it tomorrow. There's also another horror movie that comes out called Strange Harvest. I don't know really what it's about. Features a serial killer named Mr. Shiny, so it might just be awful. Who knows? I have screeners to the new season of Only Murders in the Building. So dying to see that. And I think I just got something from Netflix that I was like peeing my pants over, but I can't remember what it is.
Was it Wayward?
Wayward, yeah, I think Toni Collette is in a new limited series called Wayward that it sounded for a second.
I thought it was Task. I thought you got Task screeners.
Oh yeah, I got
Got what
tasks
screener?
too.
Tasks. I
Yeah,
didn't
that
get
was
it.
so random.
I didn't
I
get them,
yeah.
but you told me about them.
You know what
Um,
screener you did get that I'm still dying to hear what you think, Clarence,
What's that?
What?
is that Alien Earth.
Oh yes,
yeah.
yes.
That's
well,
that
I
was
guess
also this week, right? Or that's next
no,
week?
that's the 12th.
It comes out
That's
the 12th.
Yeah, next week. Shoot.
So sorry, Joey, are you done?
Yeah, sorry.
I guess so. Yeah, I have Alien Earth too. I forgot that I had it, so maybe I should
Yeah.
watch it.
I'll make it 4 of a kind and say yes, Weapons. That is the only film that I'm looking forward to this weekend. And I need to get through more of Wednesday, which just dropped as we were recording today on Wednesday. I've watched the first episode. It's okay. Like it's fine. But Alien Earth, I have been watching that in I'm trying not to binge it. I'm trying to watch it almost like week by week. And I'm 4 episodes into it, and I think there are 8. It's good. It's good. I really like it. I need to see where it's going. The first 3 episodes play like a whole a contained film. And then it kind of starts off and does a different thing after the first 3 episodes. So I'm interested to see where it goes from here. But the reviews have been good.
Did the embargo lift for that?
Yes, the embargo lifted while I was on vacation. So it has like last time I checked, it had an 89 on Rotten Tomatoes, which is not
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
For a
don't
Noah
know for
Hawley
TV,
thing.
but for movies, that's great.
Yeah, it's up to a 91 now. So it's
Okay.
40 fresh reviews, 4 rotten reviews. So there you go.
Take it.
It's interesting. It's very interesting. And I'm anxious to finish it. I'm anxious to see what you think of it, Mark, being an Alien devotee. You do have to overlook it, and this is like a personal thing with me. You do have to overlook the fact that this is set pre-Alien, the original film. And I get super annoyed when you see like it's the Phantom Menace effect, where you're in like this world that takes place years before the original films that you understood, but the technology is so much more advanced. So all of a sudden you're like, oh, this is Earth 3050. Well, no, it's actually Earth 2010 or something like that.
Well, it's
pre
pre-Alien, but it's got to be post Prometheus and Covenant.
I believe so. Yes,
It has to be. Yeah.
Yeah, and see, I was telling my son this weekend because he asked me what I thought of it, and I'm like, I get super annoyed with all of the mythology and like when this happened and when did Michael Fassbender create this thing and what. I'm just watching the show because the mythology they have destroyed it, I think. But anyway, and then I'm almost done with the third book in Song of Ice and Fire, Storm of Swords. So I'm keep plugging through that. Did I lap you, Mark?
Clash of Kings. I'm sorry, I haven't touched it in like 6 months.
I lapped you. All right, does that cover it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. So we are the 3 M's contributors, co-founder Clarence Moye, Megan McLachlan, and Joey Moser. Thanking you for joining us, and of course, thanking special guests Mark and Jorge, wherever he may be, asking you to remember to rate us on both your podcast streaming app, whether it's Apple or Spotify, as well as on YouTube, because now we're video. So click like and subscribe to The Contending on YouTube. And of course, wishing you all a very pleasant tomorrow. And I will see all of you in person in 3 weeks in Telluride.
Good. See you guys.